there are lots of reasons that people don't have the greatest amount of faith in our system right now. But they ought to be able to have the right to vote, and we ought to be making it easier for people to vote and not harder. And that's something that we have to continue to focus on leading up to the election. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. My name is Matt. I'm a constituent, and I'm here with the nonprofit People Over Politics. I just wanted to ask you a quick question here regarding Iran and the Middle East and everything. You quoted President Obama in your Sun Sentinel editorial, where the president said, "When it comes to preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon, I will take no options off the table, and I mean what I say." And just a moment ago, you said that you support the president in his position that he will use a nuclear option. And I'm wondering if you will go.
That's actually not what I said.
Okay, well, I don't want to misquote you then, but really what my question is I want to know if you're prepared to vote or sponsor legislation to decommission the United States' nuclear arsenal in exchange for the cessation of nuclear activities in Iran. And if not, will you publicly encourage other nuclear countries to decommission their nuclear arsenals?
Let me tell you what. Let me talk for a minute about this important issue that you raised. Here's the thing. The Iranian regime, the mullahs who run Iran, when they say repeatedly, as they do, when Ahmadinejad repeatedly says, as he does, that Israel should be wiped off the map, I believe that we should do everything we can to make it impossible for them to follow through on that commitment. That's my belief. That's why I think the mission.
Sir, how could you say to one country that you're not allowed to have nuclear weapons when we have over 5,000 nuclear weapons?
I think I just made that very clear.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're perfectly sane in everything we do with our nuclear weapons.
But we're not threatening
I
anybody.
I think if ultimately, using your own argument, why would you, in order, since it's your goal to eliminate all nuclear weapons, which sure, the goal, should that be the goal? Sure, but how does it make it easier to make the world a safer place by sitting back and letting the Iranians develop nuclear weapons, thereby, which wouldn't be just one nuclear power in the region, because it would trigger an arms race in the Middle East, in all of the countries in that region, who would then move forward at the same time to try to develop nuclear weapons. I'm not sure how we get from wanting to rid the world of nuclear weapons to ridding the world of nuclear weapons by sitting back and letting nuclear weapons proliferate everywhere. It doesn't make sense.
It's not about sitting back, it's an exchange. I'll give it mine,
I'm
give it yours.
happy to talk more after.
I'm sorry, are you prepared to drop a nuclear weapon on Iran?
No.
No.
Okay. Yes.
I got a question. In response, talking about the nuclear armaments and all that, why don't we tell Iraq, that we'll supply you with a power grid, and then drop your nuclear program, so that you wouldn't claim that this is for nuclear power for the country.
Listen, nothing. There's not going to be any ability to stop the Iranian nuclear weapons program through negotiation, unless the Iranians are willing to negotiate.
But they're claiming it's for their own country.
No, I understand.
Power grid. So why don't you build a power grid?
Right, let me finish. But and the only way that that's going to happen is if they are willing to negotiate, and I hope that they will. Listen. It's important, and if they come back to the negotiating table, then yeah, if it's possible to get them to give up their nuclear weapons program by building a power grid, then that's one idea of many. The idea is, though, in Iran, we have two things going on. We have a nuclear weapons program, and we have a democracy movement in Iran, which right now is being crushed by the regime. Crushed. And at the same time that we have to work to stop the nuclear weapons program, we also have to work awfully hard to give support to the democracy movement there, so that the Iranian people are able to actually fulfill their aspirations as well. So, yeah.
Just let me say, the Iranian thing is not an empty threat against Israel. That is not an empty threat.
No.
So, stop it. You know, it's our job to protect Israel. Now, my question though was, he was talking about the plan for balancing a budget, and all I heard you say was that you're against Paul Ryan's. So I just want to hear your alternative, or whoever's putting together the alternative to Paul Ryan.
Yeah, we offered a budget last week that would have actually reduced the deficit. Further, we reduced the deficit $2 trillion. We voted $2 trillion going forward. The alternative budget that passed last week would have. Let me get away from all the specifics and give you the big picture. Here's the difference. You can, as I said, you can't balance the budget by looking at discretionary spending, which is just a small percentage of the overall budget. So how do you do it? You do it. The line item veto is not going to get you there either. The only way that you're able to do it is if there's some sense of balance, and that means that everybody has to chip in.